The forwards, Bradkey, Wainwright, Rauchley, Nolan, Collins and Orchard. The forwards, Lane, Mills, Leckie, Barnes, Davis and Adams. The referee is Stuart Burnt. This should be a tremendous game of football between these two sides. Right up on top of the ladder, Dean Rauchley got a touch there on his goal line. It's picked up though by Essex. Has number 13 on his back, but he's playing in the centres today. Three regulars out of the Souths lineup in Craig Groff, Peter Deeves and Ian Turner. Turner out with a neck injury, Deeves out with a knee injury. But they seem to be fielding pretty strong lineups nevertheless, David.
Certainly are, Warren, and you can see what happened there in the first round. Brothers successful there by 18 points to 4. And talk about informed sides. Souths have won 7 of their last 8 games, and Brothers in their last 11 matches have won 8, drawn 2 and only lost 1. So informed side should be a top-class match.
And the first kick from Brothers by Maguire down towards David Mills, who has switched back to fullback. And Cameron's up in the centres. Cameron originally named at fullback, so a few changes in that Souths line up to accommodate the absence of Turner. The for and against is very interesting. You couldn't get much more even, really, over a season, could you? In the for department, in attack, 461 for South, 425 for Brothers. Very similar. South just doing a little better. Against, there's only 1 point difference in the points conceded. 277, 276, and that puts them second and third, respectively, in defence and attack.
Jason Adams has put that one down, so South have put themselves under pressure. Brothers straight on the attack.
Barry Collins goes into dummy half, and away it goes to Essex, working one off the ruck. He might be, they might have told us he's going to play in the centres. He was hitting it up there. Now taking it forward is Trevor Bradkey. He's only 20 metres out. It's hard, fairly dusty Davies Park surface. Maguire looks for Colloy, comes back to Maguire, got himself into an onside position, but the ball went forward when it was lost by Colloy.
Always a little piece on here, though. We're going to do the wraparound, and that sort of mistimed things. As Colloy takes the ball, he tries to put the brakes on for Maguire to come around. Did well to regather, but knock forward. Peter Nocon to put it in, as we say. Craig Groff not playing this afternoon. He's overseas on business. And David Mills, the two Mills brothers out there today. David and Steve Mills, the experience they've had in recent grand finals for West will certainly be brought to the fore when you think of the lack of experience now with Craig Groff not being there in such a big match. Keith Leckie brings it up to 30 metres out. Dummy runner first. Here's Steve Mills wearing the headgear, likes to get out wide. 3 defenders in there from Brothers to make sure he's put to the ground. Nolan was one, Collins another, and Orchard. This time Leckie again. That's his second ruck in this passage of 6. Almost to the halfway line on the 5th tackle. Back to Adams. Adams fires it out to Durant. Durant has to hurriedly knock it downfield. Gets the kick away, but straight to Wainwright. Or Ricky Hewinson, I should say. He's playing at fullback.
Good kick too there by Durant, under a bit of pressure, not much time to think about it. He hit it low and hard and very deep down to the opposition 20. Wide
ended up initially going to Jason Adams. Warren's a bit of a mystery. And here a penalty going to Brothers, holding down in the play the ball by Mark Lane.
Lane trotting back to his position. Here he is, just coming in over the top, and a bit of a wrestling match, and too long on top of the tackle player. Brothers come back into the South's half with that penalty. Collins takes the tap, and away goes Nolan. Darren Nolan Strong run from him. He beat the tackle of Davis, but there was 3 more Magpies to meet him. 38 metres out. Stumbles back on top of Collins, the dummy half. Now out to Orchard. Strong tackle from Steve Mills, who looks a bit like one of the gladiators in that headgear. He's by far the tallest man on the field. Wainwright. James Wainwright back from injury. Robinson with a back set. Maguire, plenty of runners out there. He picks up Colloy, ran behind his own man.
And a high shot though. Stewie Byrne has decided not the obstruction play, but a high tackle will be the one that's penalised. Tim Colloy is the injured player.
Jason Adams, the man called out.
Adams came over the top a little while ago to make a very roughhouse tackle as well. That one above the shoulders, deserved of a penalty. Good opportunity for Scott Maguire to put first points on the board.
The leading point scorer in the competition with 149, and this looks pretty good. Swing away late though, the flags are up. Good kick by Maguire, first points on the board after 5 minutes, and it's 2-0 in favour of Brothers.
Restart by Reinhard Minder. Brothers with the advantage of 2 points at the moment. Dean Rorschley takes it well back on his own try line. Has no option but to take it forward and does it well. Gets outside the 30-metre line, outside the 20, I should say. Good strong run by Rorschley. He was very effective last week as well. This time, Chris Essex, and as you say, Warren, even though he's playing in the centres, still prepared to do some work close to the rucks. Rob Orchard this time. Strong defence from South. Barry Collins, good dash out of the dummy half position, finds Robinson. That's the halfway line. Brothers have done well to get it there on 4 tackles. Scott Maguire on the left. Fires it outside to Essex, this time to Tim Colloy. Tries to spin out of the tackle. Does so, progresses it another 10 metres. That's the 5th tackle. Maguire to dummy half. Little left footer out of the dummy half position. That's a good kick, that. But will it just be too deep? Won't sit for him. Very short in goals here at Davies Park.
When you called it a good kick, David, I'm sure, like me, you thought it was going to sit up because it had everything about it. Looked like it would stand up right on the goal line, but instead it took the kick and it rolled over the dead ball line.
The Magpies now to bring it back out again. Adams, I think, this time to play it. Mark Lane. Scott Maguire has no trouble cutting him down. Davis to dummy half. Support this time from Benson. This time Scott Barnes. Plenty of defence in there. Both sides like to stack their defences. And you get multiple tacklers in there. Davis, the little dummy to the right. Tries the left, but Rorschley cuts him down. That's the 5th tackle. Dummy the kick initially, out to Durant. He just knocks it downfield. Aaron Douglas tries to get it, but then allows it to go through to Hewinson. Hewinson bumps out of those first couple of tackles and does well.
Finishing there for South, we saw Peter Nokon in a dummy half as the penalty goes against South inside the 10. But Nokon forced to get into dummy half. We haven't seen him in the game yet, but I'm sure as the game wears on, he will play a big part for the Magpies.
There's Hewinson. He was brought down close to the touchline, but inside the 10 metres, the Magpies. I think that's the 3rd penalty of the match to Brothers.
Now Keith Leckie's been called up and spoken to by the referee. Looks like he came in late on a tackle. Maguire finds touch. Takes play back into the South's half where most of the play has been. Barry Collins to take the tap, 30 metres out. Nolan overruns him. Collins did well, went himself. He'd thrown that pass, it would have been forward for sure. 3-0 the penalties in favour of Brothers. Robinson gets it to Orchard. Steams forward. Knocked over 20 metres out. Over the top comes Barnes to roll him over. Collins now switches back to the blind side with Robinson to Wainwright. He's a rangy customer, James Wainwright. Robinson juggles back to Maguire now. Plenty of runners, it's Essex. Slips it away nicely. Back now to Maguire. Steps off his right foot. Looks for support. Intercepted though. And away comes Peter Nocon for the Magpies. Whether he might have called for the ball, I don't know.
No doubt he did. Here's a penalty now going to the Magpies. But Warren, we often talk about a clash of jumpers between Brothers and South. And to the credit of the Magpies, they have changed jumpers this afternoon. Slightly different strip and therefore not quite as confusing. So I think the credit has to go to Nocon for the call.
Not quite as confusing, but still confusing, David. Just similar colours, similar types of stripes.
I think at least, Warren, they've tried to do something about it, though.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm very grateful for that. Scott Barnes hammers it up towards halfway, but the defence is there, knocking him back. Wainwright. Davis to Nocon. He goes across field, picks up Mills. He's halfway through the tackle of Maguire. He hangs on to him. And how many tacklers are there in there? 1, 2, 3, 4 on Steve Mills. Must be short somewhere else. Leckie got a pass that was behind him. Got it out nicely, though. Out in the centre's Grant Benson. On the halfway. Last tackle coming up.
Good slide from Brothers to shut that down on the outside.
Cameron back to Durant. Runs, kicks. Straight to Essex. Well, if Chris Essex is playing in the centres, David, he's spending an awful lot of time close to the ruck.
Let's hope he's playing left centre at least, Warren, because he spent a lot of time out on this left-hand side. But once again, Aaron Durant, I mean, he had a chance to kick it downfield from the halfway line and just seemed to tap the ball. I mean, the opportunity was to reef it downfield and get maximum territory.
Plays 40 metres out from the south line. All the territory being gained by Brothers. They've had field position. Only 2 points on the board, though. 2-0 in favour of the Brothers' side. Robinson, long, deep pass to Maguire. Dummies to Essex. Gives it to Colloy. Colloy, they're using him, but he's lost the ball. Goes back to Brothers. Barnes has got it. They do seem to be looking to Tim Colloy to make breaks. So far, he hasn't been able to open them up.
Still only a young fellow, Tim Colloy, but very elusive. He likes to hit and spin. Plenty of pace and built play to the ground. Very effective.
Davis gets it away to David Mills in from the wing. Of course, the Mills brothers, Steve and David, joining the south side from west this year. Probably the two major additions to an otherwise stable side from last year in many ways.
Another high shot coming in here, and a penalty has gone to the Magpies. We've seen a couple of high shots in the match. Let's have another look at it. I think that's Leckie bringing it up the middle, and over the top was Bradkey.
Just wonder whether or not the South player might have been falling slightly as Bradkey came over the top. Leckie just seemed to have stumbled and the target might have dropped a little for the tackler. Leckie being spoken to for retaliation. Metres gained 346 by Brothers to only 193, and the Brothers side have had 63% of the ball. That's why they've been camped in the South's half. Now Leckie is going to, is it the blood bin or what's happening here? Sin bin for 10 minutes. Both of them, in fact. Off goes Leckie for Souths and off goes Bradkey for Brothers.
Reinhard Minder has found touch and one of the few opportunities for the Magpies to go on the attack against 12 men. 12 against 12. Plenty of open spaces as Jason Adams takes it forward.
David, did you think that the sin bin was warranted there?
No, I thought that was a bit of an overkill, Warren. I think we're better off keeping the players on the field if we can. At least it's kept it even. And now a chance for South to go right on the attack. Back on the blind side, Nocon to Mills. Mills is going to do a little stop play. Tries to break out of a tackle. But Wainwright it was around his legs. Durant fires it up to Mark Lane. Lane just collared by Orchard. Lane pops out of the tackle back to Davis. Davis going to within around about 10 metres of the try line. Quick play, the ball's required. Jason Adams wants it on the left through Nocon to Durant. Very fast moving defence by Colloy and also Scott Maguire to shut it down. Durant plays it forward, both players on the deck. Durant kicks it forward. Dean Rorshley watches it closely and it's gone over the dead ball line.
Well, easy to say now. Durant's kick was far too long and there were other options against 12 men in defence. There were plenty of holes out there if they wanted to run it.
Barry Collins now takes the tap. Orchard the first man off to bring it forward.
First real pressure applied by Souths in the game against the Brothers' defence.
Yes, and you'd have to say we've got a fairly strong southwesterly blowing here this afternoon. And if anything, that would favour Brothers in the first half.
Dean Rauchley takes it up, 10 short of halfway. 2-0 in favour of Brothers. Now Maguire kicks deep. Douglas giving chase. David Mills coming across to cover it. He might have to pick this up. He will. In front of him is Douglas. Wainwright's there as well. It's a good chase from the big man, second rower. And a tackle taken by David Mills.
Good kick and chase that to keep South back in their own territory.
Plenty of South players still getting back onside. Some hard work now to be done by Cameron. Now Barnes. Robinson went low. Good attempt, but he got away from him. Barnes, strong run. Playing it back to Davis, or trying to, as Nolan was standing up on top of him. Now Lane gets to the edge of the ruck. Typical Mark Lane run. Just likes to skirt a little wide and then try and step back on the inside of the tackler. The kick from Nocon sends Hempstead back to the corner. What a tremendous kick there. Was it Peter Nocon? Little Peter Nocon. Certainly put some weight behind that boot.
Great kick from Nocon, and good work from South. They had to bring it right out from their own try line, and they've taken it about 90 metres to turn the tables on Brothers.
And it'll be a Brothers ball, just 10 metres out from their own line. Hempstead coming in from the blindside wing, loses his footing. And they lose more ground. Great work here by Cameron in defence. He muscles Hewinson backwards. That's inspirational stuff, and it just stops the attacking side getting momentum out of the first couple of tackles in the set. Maguire now in trouble. Still inside their own 20. They've only gained 10 metres in 3 tackles. Hempstead, he staggers a couple of tackles, a couple of metres, getting away from the tackle there. Now Colloy gets it up towards the 30. Last tackle coming up. Maguire had to wait, and he's under a bit of pressure from Adams, who knocks him over as the kick was put downfield. Still down on the
coming on.
Oh, Maguire's still down on the ground.
Didn't look to be much in this. Scott Maguire down, certainly. One of the front rowers, I think it was, who came through. Scott Maguire gets the kick away. Oh, well, it might have been. That's Jason Adams.
Well, was there contact up high on the chin there? It might have even been an elbow.
Certainly he did raise the arm. The angle we had there didn't show the point of contact. Scott Maguire getting attention. Here it is again. Certainly knocked heavily with Scott Maguire. Penalty definitely warranted.
In part, I blame Maguire and his teammates there. They seemed to be very casual as the ball came back to him, but that's no excuse for Adams then coming through. It clearly looked high. It was a bit blurry, the replay, but it did look as if there was a raised forearm to the head, and that is totally illegal, and he's lucky to be on the field if the touch judge saw it that way. He's kicked 1 from 1. He's vying with Mark Maguire from West to be the leading point scorer in the competition. He's judged the win to perfection. He learnt a little bit from the first kick. That one's gone right over the black dot. And Brothers lead 4 points to 0.
Reinhardt minded a restart for the 3rd time in this match. There's been 2 penalties to Brothers, both for either high or late shots, so ill-disciplined play here from the Magpies, giving Brothers a handy advantage of 4 points to 0. Brothers now inside their 20. Ricky Hewinson playing at fullback, wearing number 4, prepared to do some of the hard work. Robinson to Orchard, a little bit wider of the ruck, confronted by Mills. Also Lane. And Barnes, this time Brothers with an overlap here if they can use it, back on the inside to Hewinson, outside to Douglas, he couldn't handle it, in behind Douglas. Be an interesting decision this, it was touched, I'd say, by a South player, and therefore loose head and feed to Brothers.
Beautiful passing here by South as Hewinson came in, looked a highish tackle from Barnes, and that forced the error. The pass over the touchline, but touched in flight by Souths.
Peter Robinson to put it in. Oh, just managed to dive back on it. It'll be a repack. Stewie Burnt did not believe it went out the back of the scrum, and it certainly didn't. This time it did. Peter Robinson to Maguire. Out this time to Wayne Essex, I should say. He busts through the first tackle. Benson follows up with David Mills. Brothers wrap through Kalloy. Mills tackles him just inside Brothers' half.
Both teams still playing with 12 men, so there should be some spaces out there for the attack.
Dean Rawsley gets it over the halfway line. Nolan standing wide on the left. Tries to straighten it up, but the defence confronts him. This time Wainwright, the big long striding back rower. That's the 5th tackle. Maguire in perfect position for his kicking game. Hoisted into the air. The wind will make it awkward for Reinhard Minder. And it makes it very awkward. Straight in the breadbasket. Straight out again. Knock on by the Magpies. Loose head and feed Brothers.
Well, it's always difficult in the wind, but he looked to have judged it pretty well. He was camped underneath it, kept his eyes on the ball, but it's gone straight through. Couple of Souths penalties and mistakes giving Brothers a chance. They're deep here from this scrum. Maguire runs it, gives it to Hewinson now. He had his centres very, very deep. He didn't use them. Here they come in numbers, though. That pass has gone wild. In the end, picked up by Essex, and he's gone behind his own man. Penalty goes to Souths for the Shepherd. And so Brothers finally come a cropper due to their own mistake.
The poor pass out of dummy half upset the whole pattern of play Brothers were trying to create on that Brine side. And Essex there being caught for just a little bit of a stuttering run in behind one of his own players. South with a relieving penalty.
Minder finds touch. Davis gives it to Adams. He takes on Orchard, who hangs onto an ankle. Rauchley and Nolan finish him off. 15 short of halfway. Steve Mills, one off the ruck. I suppose he's got to do some of the hard work, but that's not where he's most effective. He's better running off somebody else. Davis out to Cameron. Here come the men back from the sin bin. So back to 13 aside as Bradke and Leckie rejoin the game. Durant knocked down on the halfway line. Good tackling by Orchard. He just came up on the 5'8". Slipped away now to Davis. Through the hands of Lane. Cameron can't break the tackle. He's lost the ball. And it looks as if Brothers have got it. They have. Just short of halfway.
Brothers now good position to go into the attack. That's their first tackle now. As Bradke just fresh back from the sin bin. Here's Orchard. Bumping, busting run. Knocks away Jason Adams for one. But Davis was around the legs with Nokon over the top. Brothers using the blind side again through Nolan. Tipped into the ground. Peter Nokon. This time Robinson. Scott Maguire finds at the back there the big fellow in Hewinson. Scott Maguire once again tries a field goal. Ambitious attempt. Nowhere near it. Goes over the dead ball line. Restart on the 20-metre.
Very ambitious. We've had 23 minutes of play. There's been 2 penalty goals, no tries. Maguire's decided that points are going to be hard to come by, but from a long way out, surely there was a better option.
Restart by the Magpies this time. Benson, the centre, takes it forward. The intention there is to make sure you keep as many of your forwards ready to do this hard work inside your own territory. Leckie this time, manhandled down. And manhandled just a little bit too long. The big fellow in James Rainwright going on with it. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, he was ready to play it there, and they're still hanging on to him. And once that tackle is complete, you just have to get off him, leave him alone. So the kick from Minder finds touch. 10 metres inside the Brothers' half. It looked like it might have been even more as he launched that one from centre field. Just inside the Brothers' half as Souths go deep out into the backs, but all they've done is lose ground there. They were just shoveling the passes and not too much was happening once it got out wide. Cameron was tackled. Here they go again. This time Mills is knocked over. Lane slips away from Wainwright. Orchard and Nolan, the 2 front rowers, get hold of him. Davis, short, sharp pass. Nokon, Durant, Mills, wider, out of the tackle, but stumbling. Maguire put him down, held him down. 35 metres out. Pass at Nogon's feet, well picked up. Adams with a chance. He's away. Lecky now gets it to his winger. Huxtable puts it down. It's a little too far in front of him. He only had to go at it with one hand. Two hands might have just pulled it in, but it was never a good pass.
Good work, though, from South in the build-up. If nothing else, the pass was not a good one out to Huxtable after Adams has gone through. Got the ball, I think, to Durant. The ball knocked forward. Scrum to pack, 30 metres out from Brothers line. Robinson puts it in, looks for Aaron Douglas. Normally the blindside winger. Can't break that first tackle. Claiming he's lost the ball. Stewie Burnt looks to his touch judge and gets the indication. Bad mistake that from Aaron Douglas. Here it is again, trying to get to his feet. Well, certainly the ball not clear. Phil Cameron was involved in the tackle. Scrum to pack this time. The Magpies have won it. Nocon wasn't really sure what to do. He's still not sure. He threw 4 dummies and no one really had a clue what he was doing, including Peter Nocon.
Doesn't necessarily matter if you're Peter Nocon, though, when you're quick on your feet. Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, neither does anybody else, and you just might make a break.
He got out of trouble every time and then got back into some more of it. This time Adams, he's been a workhorse in this first half. Davis goes to dummy half. Nocon. Lecky stops, fires it up back inside to Benson. Benson with a bit of a half chance here. Adams finds he's in possession, tries to pop it up, looks for support. Very close, Davis. Low, lost it.
Lost it over the line there, Michael Davis. They've done everything to score. There's some brilliant football by South. If they've worked the play back after the set move, Davis, does he get it down or not? Oh, it's just come loose.
Great desperate defence there from Brothers on the try line. Rorschley was one. Just there to save the day.
Referees called timeout. That play was really well worked by South, David. They've moved it to the right-hand side, a complicated play. Adams has carved back to the left, and there was a huge hole. Davis was very late arriving, but he hit it on the burst and very nearly scored.
Yeah, very good build-up from South and just some desperate defence right on the try line to save the day.
Now Darren Nolan takes it up for Brothers. They're spread right across to this side of the field.
Brothers have made a replacement, unlimited interchange. Jeff Scott is on, and he's on for Dean Rorschley.
Wainwright stepping off that left foot, trying to beat the tacklers. Collins gets it to Maguire. The kick launched.
Under pressure.
Out on the full. Durant put the pressure on him. He was jumping backwards into the kick, trying to put it right into the face of Maguire, and he forced the error. Kick out on the full on the fourth tackle, so it's a scrum feed to Souths. And away goes Durant. Takes on Maguire. Good solid tackle. 5'8" on 5'8".
Maguire's injured.
Benson slips it to Lane. That's a blow if Maguire is unable to continue. He's holding his hand. Could be his arm. Now Davis. He's pretty easily rounded up by Essex. Souths are wide. Durant to Mills. There was half a chance if Steve Mills has decided to slip that pass away.
Steve Mills doesn't appear to have a full head of steam up when he takes the ball, Warren. He seems to be trying to decide what to do with it first. And a penalty here now going to the Magpies.
Against Peter Robinson hanging on in the tackle here. And David Mills is the one who drags him away. David Mills should keep out of that.
Well, and Stewie Burnt is telling him exactly that at the moment. I'll referee it, you play the game.
Davis decides to take the tap. He doesn't go for the goal.
Or the territory. I mean, they were still over 20 metres out, so to me that's just wasting territory and tackles.
Lecky picks it up. Now he's tackled 13 metres out. Jason Adams has to run up to the pivot. He wasn't expecting to do that. He's tackled just 10 metres out from the post. Davis dummy half. Here comes the play. It's Nocon to Durant. Up the middle goes Steve Mills. Charging ahead, but well tackled by the Brothers' defence. In there was Wainwright. Now it's Durant, one off the ruck. He sights a little hole, goes for it himself. Back inside, Adams knocks on. Jason Adams couldn't pick it up from his shins. Durant couldn't get the pass up to him high enough.
The gap was there too for Jason Adams. Just had to be patient while he waited for it. Durant tosses it back on the inside. the ball was bouncing awkwardly. Adams just seemed to snatch at it, knocked it forward. Brothers now to feed the scrum. They've had to absorb a lot of pressure in the last 10 minutes. They applied all the pressure in the first 10. Good pass, this one up to Essex. Brothers now outside the 20 metres. Shane Himstead tries a stuttering run to the blind, decides there's more opportunities on the open, then he decides maybe not. A little bit of Michael Hancock in that running style. Rob Orchard. Strong run and gets a round of applause from the appreciative crowd. Barry Collins tries to get away from the marker and does. Oh, had a chance and even thought about just popping the pass up, but decided against it. Jeff Scott, no. Bradkett was at dummy half. That's Maguire. Out through Essex to Kalloy. Kalloy only knows one way, and that's straight ahead. Maguire this time, another field goal attempt. He must have backed himself for a field goal today. Second one from over 45 metres out.
Well, he must think he's got a hurricane at his back, Scott Maguire, and he must also think it's going to be a very tight game. 30 minutes gone now and no tries scored.
He has kicked a couple of good field goals this year, Scott Maguire, one as recently as last week. This time Benson does his job.
David, as I say, no tries scored, but it's not through lack of enterprise by both teams. They're prepared to move it. Maybe just the finish is broken down a couple of times right at the goal line.
Yeah, if anything, Warren, I think there's some good half breaks being made, but just a little bit of backup at times lacking. There's a few times where players had hands free. And as you say, some desperate defence on the try line have saved the day. Nocon spots a gap on the blind side. Peter Nocon straight through, looks on the outside. Surely that was forward, and it was.
And it was also a very good tackle from Aaron Douglas, as the backup was there for the winger Huxtable as he threw it inside. But the first pass, this one, just that touch forward. I don't think it was a long way forward. It was a fairly long pass, so it would have floated, but fair enough that it was called forward by the referee, Burnt.
Aaron Douglas had done well to put himself between Nocon and Huxtable.
Great little run by Peter Nocon. He stepped past Wainwright. There were plenty of forwards around him, but he just showed them the sidestep, and away he went. Now it's Bradkey for Brothers. Himstead dummy half. Collins. Up towards halfway he goes. Himstead has another go at it. Short, sharp burst. Rapid fire from Brothers out of dummy half. Now a little wider this time they go. Jeff Scott for Brothers. Maguire throws the dummy. Inside is Bradkey, good backup. Here's Robinson. Robinson a chance. Looks for support. It's not there. You've just called for it, David. It should have been there.
That's the fifth.
Maguire should go wide. Gives it to Kalloy. Kalloy has men outside. He goes for it himself. He's short. Short on the last tackle.
Well, they butchered at that, Brothers. They had plenty of chances. No pun intended there from the Brothers, but they had plenty of chances, as you say, Warren. The break up the middle. Robinson did well to just break and wait for a bit of support. That's Timmy Kalloy, who's down injured.
The thing about it, David, was that Peter Robinson was standing there waiting for an age.
Well, exactly right. This is the last play. Scott Maguire searches on the right. There's heaps of opportunities out wide there.
Himstead got on the outside.
Kalloy decided to that spinning action, and he's come off second best.
People are making a few notes in the book for next week, the Souths coach.
Well, I'd say for half-time as well too, Warren, because now Brothers have got a chance to get a 6-point lead, all from penalties. Some ill-disciplined play.
Kick a place goal from 43 metres out. He's certainly got the length. It's a great kick. That's gone dead as well. Tremendous kick. Well, he can get the distance. And with 3 penalty goals, Brothers take it out to 6-0.
Reinhardt minded a restart once again. It wouldn't be very often in this modern game that you'd see a scoreline of 6-0, all from penalties. Not a common sight these days. This time Nolan Gets it almost to the 20-metre line. The brothers rucking the ball strongly through Jeff Scott. Collins looks out for Bradkey. He's knocked back in the tackle. Collins again goes out of the dummy half to Rorschley. He's had a little spell on the bench, so he's back on now. Should be fresh. Scott's also fresh. He came on late in the match. And that's a good strong run. That's the 5th tackle also. Collins thought about kicking out a dummy half, thought again, and then decided, well, I've got to do it now. Committed himself. Taken on the fingertips there by, I think, Brett Stevens. That win definitely favouring Brothers in this first half. South's doing it tough.
And this penalty has gone against Souths, I believe. It's another, I guess, Brothers, a high tackle. And South, they're calling for the trainer.
Let's have another look at it. One in low over the top, and then Orchard swinging arm made contact.
Rob Orchard being spoken to by the referee, and they're signalling for the stretcher here. Placement number 14 for Souths as Davis takes the tap, and away they go. 10 metres inside Brothers half. Through Scott. Now Rolfe, the fresh man. Just a couple of minutes till half time. Brothers leading 6-0. Can Souths get a try on the board? Durant holds it up for Mills. Mills needs some more runners going with him. He bumps off Nolan. Now it goes now to Barnes, or Stevens, I think it is, Stevens. Adams now loses the ball. Rorschley comes up with it for Brothers, and he's knocked over. Hewenson's hobbling back onside. Hempstead always ready to get in and help the forwards out. Shane Hempstead.
The error count will also be interesting up to half-time, Warren. I think South have probably just had a few more errors than what Brothers have, and just allowed the brethren to be in the position to convert those penalties into points.
Actually, David, the handling errors, for example, 9 by Souths and 4 by Brothers.
Yep.
Now Essex up towards halfway. Started the game busily. Last tackle coming up. Maguire puts it up high this time, and David Mills is coming forward for it. He takes it well.
Magnificent take from David Mills. That's a real tough ask that. He had to cover around about 20 metres to get there, committed himself to it and took it well.
Just as well he didn't have a look, because it was Dean Rorschley who was coming towards him too.
Eyes on the ball here, and he took it and went to ground fairly quickly, so he also had protection in mind. Took it neatly. This time Davis out of the dummy half position. Has run dangerously this afternoon, has Michael Davis. Been very close a couple of times to scoring tries. Nocon's also been dangerous. Back on the inside to Mills. They've used that play a few times. Mills this time can't bump away from a 3-man tackle. That's the 5th. Durant thinks about the little dummy kick and decides to keep running it. Throws the dummy another time. Oh, pretty hard to kick when you're being wrapped up in the motion of a tackle. Just couldn't get the foot on the ball.
Durant should have passed to Shane Rolfe. He was backing him up on the inside for some reason, looked at him and went away from him. Look at it there.
Yeah, good opportunity, and Durant's injured now as he tried an awkward kick. Scott Maguire around one ankle. And Aaron Durant in trouble. They're calling for the stretcher.
Pretty well without Craig Groff. Durant and Michael Davis have been keeping them well organised, but now it's going to be tough for them. Brothers with the ball through Douglas.
Only a minute up to half-time too, so a very important stage of the match with Brothers leading 6-0.
If Durant should be out for the rest of the season, David, that's a blow, because he's been playing that 5/8 role for them very effectively.
Yeah, he does some good kicking. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Craig Groff away overseas at the moment. He'll be back, I think, next week. There's the half-time hooter.
A very spirited first half of football. It was tough. so tough that no tries were scored. It's Brothers leading South 6-0. Scott Maguire to start the second half, with Brothers leading by 6 points to nothing. And Steve Mills brings it back for Souths. It's all-important game. Brothers might be competition leaders and Souths might be equal second, but they know that they can't afford to drop a game or suddenly the pressure will come right on them to make the top 3, let alone the top 5. The top tacklers so far, Mark Lane with 18 for Souths, Jason Adams 16, Scott Barnes has made 15, and for Brothers, Rob Orchard 19, James Wainwright 16, and Trevor Bradkey 15. And there has been plenty of defence to be done. Back it goes, and the kick placed through for Souths.
Keith Leckie, I think it was, who put the kick in, and Warren, that'll be one of the things that Souths have to address in this second half, is with Aaron Durant leaving the field. In actual fact, it was Shane Rolfe who put that kick in. He did it well, found touch inside the 20.
And the Brothers coach, Don Gaylor, joins us. Don, in that first half, it seemed as if lack of support let you down in not finishing off a couple of breaks.
Yeah, Warren, I think we had a couple of opportunities there when Timmy Kalloy got caught near the line. I thought we could have just moved it one wide and gone in the corner. And over in our own half there, I think Aaron Douglas might have snuck up into a sort of tight single phase line, and I thought a bit more depth there. We could have put him away as well.
It's unusual to go through a half of football in the Premier League and not have any tries scored.
Oh, I don't know about that too much. Like, this is probably, we're both trying to stay somewhere near the top here, so it's going to be tight and tough, and you know, I think it's games like this where the first one that cracks in defence will pay for it.
What was the general feeling like at half-time in the room, Don?
I think they're fairly tired, Roddy. Yeah.
Don, also in the first half we saw Scott Maguire going for some long-distance field goals. Is that tactics or just instinct from him?
Yeah, I thought they were on. Like, he's missed 2 or 3 there. Like, if he had got them, we would have been 9-0. And that could be the difference at the end of the day. And basically, we want to try and keep them down somewhere near their line. So if he misses, they got to bring it out from the 20. But we got a chance to reform the defence there as well.
One of the positives, Don, would have been the handling of Brothers in the first half. It was quite tidy.
Pardon, Roddy, I didn't hear that.
The handling in the first half was quite tidy by Brothers, and that would have been a positive.
Yeah, I think Souths are looking pretty tidy too. They're playing tough football, and it's a pretty hard physical game out there, and I think you'd probably expect a few handling errors, and I think both sides are doing pretty well there.
Well, you said that you think that the first team to crack is going to be the one who well and truly loses the game. From Brothers' point of view, who do you think is going to make the game happen for you?
Well, I think Robbo can, Peter Robinson, the halfback, I think he can liven them up a little bit in the middle. We got to watch Peter Nocon, so I think the halfbacks are going to play a fair part in the decision in this game, and I think we've got to watch Millsy as well. But I think Robbo could probably ignite us.
All right, Don, thanks for joining us. The boys are playing well.
Okay, thank you.
Don Gaylor and Brothers are having a very strong season. They started the year with 2 losses and a draw from their first 5 games. But as we mentioned earlier, they've only had 1 loss in their last 11 games to charge to the top of the ladder.
Not the result they're after there. The ball just going touch in goal. Collins, I think it is, who's knocked it downfield. Not the normal Scott Maguire. Almost found touch. Instead, touch in goal. Brings about a 20-metre tap. This time now South through Jason Adams. Gets it up to the 40-metre line. Plenty of wrestling going on in that play the ball. This is Nocon. Fires it out. Looks for support out to David Mills. Confronted by Essex.
Bad news for Brothers. Peter Robinson is hobbling. He's still out there, but he looks like he might have hurt an ankle.
And Brothers have got Macbeth playing at fullback at the moment too, so they've got a replacement there in the halves to slot in. And of course they can ill afford to lose another one. This time the pass out to Huxtable. Huxtable tries to get away from Aaron Douglas. Douglas comes again. Huxtable gets the hands free though, pops it up, out through lane to Nocon, chance on the outside. Nocon had to wait, decides to look back the other way, tries his fancy footwork, turns it back on the inside, but just there in desperate defence. That's the 5th tackle. This time Lane. South's kicking game in a at 6s and 7s, but Mark Lane has almost, no, not quite found touch. Hempstead steps back up the touchline, plenty of pace. Shane Hempstead confronted by one defender, turns back on the inside. Good work that from Shane Hempstead to get it out from deep inside his own 20.
And the South's coach, Chris Phelan, joins us. Chris, first of all, can you give us a bit of a report on those injuries to Aaron Durant and Keith Leckie?
Well, mate, Aaron, I think, will be out for the rest of the game.
And here's Aaron Douglas. Sorry, Chris, just going down that touchline. He's found support. On it goes to Robinson. He's tackled from behind. We'll just stick with the play for a moment, Chris. It's the brothers' side right on the attack, only 15 metres out. Robinson trying to claim a penalty. Out it comes now from Maguire to Orchard. Short pass to Bradkey. Bradkey looks for Collins. He's dropped it behind him. And so that is a knock on. Now back to you, Chris. Sorry. How's Aaron Durant?
Oh, mate, I think he'll be out for a couple of weeks. Looks like he's done something to his groin, mate.
And Keith Leckie, will he be back today?
Mate, he should be right. Yeah, he just had a pinched nerve.
And it also looks like you've just lost Grant Benson, so they're toppling.
Yeah, mate, yeah, we sort of just one of those games, I suppose, where things are just not happening for us.
Chris, when you say they're not happening, there's been a few chances created, though, hasn't there? But just haven't been able to get the ball across the try line.
Well, that's it, mate. You know, we haven't taken our chances, actually. We had a couple of chances in the first half, even though we didn't have much field position. So hopefully, you know, we can get some field position for this half and we'll be, be able to put some points on the board.
What about the boys' discipline in the first half?
Yeah, well, mate, that was something we spoke a little bit about at half-time. Mate, you know, you can't give kickers like theirs, you know, a chance, and we gave them those chances in the first half.
Now, you don't have Craig Groff out there today. Now you've lost Durant. Who's going to be doing the organising on the field?
Oh, well, mate, Mickey Davies and Peter Nocon, hopefully, and Shane Rolfe will, hopefully he'll be able to slot in. I know it's a big ask for him, but hopefully he'll be able to do the job.
Well, that's a great kick from Rolfe. He does have the wind. Are you going to be waiting till the last tackle to kick, or are you happy to go a little bit earlier?
Well, mate, it sort of all depends on how we're making the yardage. If we're making the yardage okay, well, we'll wait until later. But if we're doing it a bit tough, well, we'll probably go a little bit earlier.
All right, Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Chris Phelan, the South's coach, and that was a fine kick by Rolfe.
Yes, and if Chris Phelan had any concerns at the time, that would have brought a smile to his face, although he didn't show it.
The scrum packing only 10 metres out from the Brothers line. Brothers leading 6 points to 0. 3 penalty goals in the first half. 2 after high tackles. Now Brothers have to get it down the other end. It's Collins slipping it away. There's no way through though. It's Essex to play it. Collins out to Rorschley. He's well knocked over by Mark Lane. 15 short of halfway. Collins smartly at a dummy half. Out to Maguire. There's Wainwright. A little bit of room to move. He's got some numbers too. Changes direction though. Pops it back to Robinson now. He's all on his own though. No support on his outside. Last tackle coming up. The kick. There's a cross field. There's a bit of pressure on the kicker there. Was that Macbeth, the kicker there, David?
It was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Macbeth, Warren, but also shows the indication of the strength of that breeze. Very difficult to get it any more than about 30 metres.
Now it's David Mills for Souths. 10 short of halfway. South bunched in the middle. Steve Mills heading towards the touchline as they take them on once more. Developing into a real arm wrestle this match. Only 6 points in it. Mark Lane sprints over the advantage line smartly. The pass was a very flat one from the dummy half. Tried to get those extra couple of metres before the defence got up to him. Out a little wider. Look at that tough defence. Robinson, one of the smallest men with Hewinson, came up. They made the tackle, but now they've given away a penalty. Now I just wonder whether that was actually lost because of the ferocity of the tackle. Taken up was Cameron.
Strong defence there by Ricky Hewinson and also Robinson, and he just did have a hand in there, no doubt about that. Hand in, penalty. Now the Magpies on the attack. This time the big fellow in Luke Scott. Driven back though, breaks out of the tackle, Scott does. Tries another step straight up the middle, looks for support, straight to a Brothers player in Bradkey. And there's the confusion that arises by the similar colour of the jerseys. And Brothers there get possession through Bradkey. This time Hewinson, who's been strong.
Yeah, you wouldn't even think that there was a false call there, David. It just looked like he had a quick look, saw a jersey that looked similar, and popped the pass up. And it wasn't a bad pass either. I tell you what, it was well done by Scott, wasn't it?
If Radke had been on the right side, he'd have put it down right under the sticks, but not to be. Collins now to dummy half. Robinson out through Essex, up to Rorschley, cut down immediately though, and a good tackle there by Reinhardt Minder. Strong bustling run up the middle. That's the 5th tackle.
Developing into a war of attrition. Plenty of injured players in the game. A few players looking tired and hobbling.
Great kick this from Scott Maguire. Finds touch inside the 20. Little room to work and against the wind.
Maybe the kicking game with or against the wind might just be the secret to this second half in such a tough clash.
Scrum to pack now, South inside their 20. Like Phil Cameron. Yes, it was. This time David Mills comes in to take that second ruck off the scrum as they continue to wrap it. That's the 3rd one the same way. Leckie steps right into trouble.
It's a good comeback from a fellow who was all but carried from the field in the first half. Leckie.
Scott Barnes this time. There's 4 rucks from South, 1 out. But they've got it up nearly to the halfway line. Dummy the kick, this time to Nocon. Still under pressure was Peter Nocon. Does well to get the kick away. Bouncing down toward the in-goal area. Macbeth picks it up. His job now to bring it back out. Does extremely well to get on the outside for Paul Macbeth. A guy who would normally not be accustomed to the fullback role.
Well tackled eventually by Nocon, the kicker. David, it strikes me a couple of times today, kickers have been under pressure, but in part it's been their own fault. There's been just a little bit of hesitation, setting themselves a little bit too long before they kick, and the chasers are coming through on them.
Yeah, and South, I think, are going to suffer the most, Warren, of course, with their key kicker now, Aaron Durant, out of play. There's going to be a little bit of confusion there, and the double play on the passing before kicking didn't help their continuity.
Away goes Collins for Brothers. Good scurrying run. Both hookers out of dummy half have made good ground today.
Scott Maguire this time out to Robinson. A bit of a chance on the outside. Rorschley out to Aaron Douglas. He's got plenty of pace. Douglas, Rorschley still on his feet. Crunching tackle though. The ball's gone loose. But Brothers now creating a couple of half chances that they didn't in the first half.
And that break in part was caused by an attempted intercept by Reinhardt Minder. Douglas here trying to link up with Rorschley. There was a bit of defence there and Rorschley couldn't hang on to the pass. There's plenty of defence between Douglas and Rorschley. Couldn't quite pass it to him as he would have wished. In the end, the pass wasn't quite there. Rorschley maybe should have held on to it. But in a tight game where no tries have been scored, attempted intercepts are going to open the gate. So Souths now. Nocon darts upfield, he's fast. He runs into Robinson though. Halfback on halfback, keeping a close eye on each other.
Interesting, Brian, the last couple of minutes we've seen hooker on hooker and then halfback on halfback. A penalty here going to Brothers. Souths in possession. Nocon not getting up properly to play the ball. He steps over the top of Peter Robinson on the ground. Places the ball on the ground. Well,
I thought play could have been allowed to go on there myself.
A rather pedantic penalty in the end, but a very important one.
True, Robinson was on the ground, and true, Nocon stepped on him, but I thought they could have the referee could have given both the benefit of the doubt and allowed play on. The penalty appeared to be against Peter Nocon for not getting to his feet to play the ball. That could have been a bit tough. This is an important kick. It can give Brothers an 8-point lead. From 40 metres out, Maguire hits it pretty well. It's there. He hasn't kicked well. Kicked 7 goals last week and a field goal. Today he hasn't missed. So he puts his side 8 points ahead, 8-0 in favour of Brothers.
Reinhardt Minder to restart. The wind at South's back, but Brothers have got first points in this second half. Macbeth juggles for a moment, just manages to regain it. Good little run too to get it around about 10 metres out from his own try line. What a critical penalty that one is. In possession. Now another one to Brothers. Coming up, I'd say the markers leaving early, although there did seem to be some hesitancy at the play the ball. Little dummying action at the play the ball there by Macbeth. That's why the markers were caught out, and a penalty now to Brothers. They find touch just inside their own half.
The penalties are 7 each.
Now Orchard quite happy to take those first 10 metres. Stewie Byrne up over the ruck. This time Scott, another 10 metres, pops it back to Collins. Collins with the hands free as well. He finds Scott Maguire, long pass out to Dean Washley. Always a tough one.
Looked almost like he'd pulled it in miraculously. Did well really to almost pull it in, because the pass from Maguire, probably Maguire expecting a faster man to be running onto that pass.
Nocon puts it in. This is 40 metres out from South's line. They have not got points on the board. Cameron goes straight through. Has he got enough pace? Foot race it is. Robinson, Hewinson, has he made it? Was it a double movement? Well, there's plenty of questions. Stewie Byrne is going to answer them by saying it's a fair try right from the base of the scrum. Phil Cameron straight through the defensive line. Foot race it was between Robinson. He couldn't hack it with him. And then from out of the clouds came Hewinson. Let's have a look. Does he make a double movement? Phil Cameron makes that initial bust. Then the foot race was on. That's Hewinson in screen. Robinson was the first one who has a go. Then he comes down, bounces over and reaches out. Well, I think that's suspect for mine.
Here it is from the scrum, and the tackle missed there by Macbeth. He's a strong man, Cameron, but then he shows us just how fast he is as he foots it downfield. They couldn't get to him except for Hewinson. This is close. You're not allowed to
progress the ball, and I think he has.
It's very similar to one we had in the match yesterday between Wests and the Bulldogs. Cameron got the try, though. Yesterday I thought that it wasn't a try, and well, a lot of argument about whether there's momentum or whether he actually has used a double movement. Probably it was a double movement. Referee thought otherwise. We have the benefit of a replay.
Reinhardt Minder to try and get South with a maximum 6 points right in front. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this one. Round the corner style. Hits it, hits a fair bit of sand as well, but good enough to put it over the sticks. 8-6 now, Brothers still in the lead.
A first try of the match, but these double movements, it's all about momentum of the player as he skids for the line, and secondly, whether there is a double movement of his arms once the tackle's complete. He's okay till there, but the extra reach probably makes it a double movement. Maguire, with Brothers suddenly finding that they've got a very tight game on their hands again, but this one has been allowed to go dead, or did it actually come off that South player?
Well, it won't matter anyway, because it'll be a goal line dropout for the Magpies. Inexcusable. Brothers kicking against the wind, and the Magpies couldn't keep it in the field of play.
A little bit of confusion here between a couple of the South players, and it took the turn away from them, so it's a dropout. Robinson,
knocked it on. He's knocked that on, Peter Robinson. And a game now of sensations.
He lost it, David. Whether he knocked it on, he doesn't think he did. But the should have taken it on the full cleanly without any confusion for the referee at all. Let's have another look.
Critical decision. Yes, knocked on for mine. Scrum to pack now. Nocon to put it in.
Two bad mistakes, one each way, and we're back to where they should have been. South in possession. Very slipping away down that line there. Cameron gets it to Lane. It's a very important mistake by Robinson, because South, with their tails up, having scored a try, only down by 2 points, suddenly they're 35 metres out on the attack. 3 or 4 tackles to go. Taking it forward is Luke Scott.
South have got a real spring in their step now too.
Nocon has Rolfe outside him. Mills is coming on the burst. Nocon trying to hold it up for him. The timing wasn't quite there. The defence had enough time to work out that it was Mills's ball. Nocon tries the kick. Might have been touched there, but it's come back to Douglas. He's fast. And he can't get away though. Good chase over there by Huxtable. And they make another tackle without too many metres gained by Essex. Now Macbeth, the South defence hounding them inside their own 20, trying to keep them there. 8-6 in favour of Brothers. Orchard. There's 20 minutes to go. David, don't tell me we're set for another cliffhanger.
I'd say we are, Warren, because neither of these sides is going to give an inch.
Been guaranteeing it week in, week out. Close finishes. Could be another one today. Scott Maguire kicks high, even into the wind. He's getting good distance, and it causes the misjudgment by David Mills. He brings it back now, and almost away. Macbeth just got him by the jersey. Steve Mills is still off the field for South, so they can throw him on for the last 15 minutes or so. Up goes Cameron. The try scorer this time being used as a hit-up merchant. Good work by Davis. He threw the dummy to Scott Barnes and made good ground himself.
Played well, Michael Davis.
Nocon, little dummy, goes ahead, chips into open space. No, it wasn't open. Douglas had done well to come across in cover. He read it all the way.
Very well done there by Aaron Douglas, because had that hit the ground, there were plenty of Magpies backing up.
Now Rauchley swung to ground, 20 short of halfway. Play just swinging either side of the halfway at the moment. Who's going to crack? Coach Don Gala said it at half-time. The first side to crack would go down the tubes. Well, I suppose that hasn't quite happened. The arm wrestle continues, and Steve Mills is back on the bench, back on the sideline, ready to come on. Collins can't get away from Leckie. Last tackle coming up now for Brothers. Robinson wants a quicker play the ball. Out to Maguire. Short pass is a good one to Orchard. Orchard gallops into space. Forward pass. And a deliberate forward pass. Penalty goes to South.
You don't see that very often. I don't believe he intentionally threw it forward. He certainly lost it forward. He was actually caught by the jersey and then trying to flick it around. The ball actually ends up hitting Stewie Burnt. A penalty, though, going to the Magpies. I think a somewhat fortunate one. Could easily have been a scrum. What a shocking kick, that one, by Reinhard Minder. He nearly found the opposite touchline.
Well, it's gone between the posts and it might go dead. It has gone dead, so it'll be a 20 dropout. It's probably a pretty good result from a shocking kick.
Very fortunate result, because it was a penalty and not a kick in general play. That's a 20-metre dropout.
And the wind helped that one go dead, there's no doubt.
Talk about coming off the side of the boot. Really missed the boot.
It's an unpredictable game, this one. We've just seen the penalty attempt go dead when it should have been going over the touchline. A moment earlier we saw a deliberate forward pass, which is unusual, and I tell you what, Brothers had almost broken away running it on the last.
Yes, this game really hanging in the balance. 8-6 in favour of Brothers.
So up they go, the Magpies. Laid back, Nocon looks out for Mills. Mills with the one hand offload ready to be unloaded. Lane comes back to Barnes now. Wainwright went just a little high and Barnes resented it. He should have kept it, left it to the referee. Nocon kicks high. Here's some pressure for Macbeth, and it's gone too far though. It's gone over the dead ball line on the full.
Well, Peter Nocon has the wind at his back, and he didn't judge that too well. The wind is gusting. From time to time, it seems it's eased off, and then The trees around Davies Park here really show the effects from time to time.
Out comes the trainer for the brothers' side, and you can bet he's got a few messages, not just water. Collins slips it away to Orchard. Orchard starting to make a couple of strong bursts for brothers. Just when the crunch time in this match starts to come down to the wire. 8-6 in favour of brothers. 15 minutes to go. Collins to Robinson. Wainwright takes on Barnes, but he stood his ground. Made a solid tackle. Maguire out to Macbeth. On the halfway. Maguire starting to get in as first receiver. Robinson's lost it. Well, that's two fairly simple errors by Peter Robinson that could prove costly.
And I think you're right, Warren. You don't see him make hardly any in a game, Peter Robinson, the representative halfback. But on that occasion, just took his eye off the ball.
Jason Adams comes back on for Souths. As this scrum pack's on the halfway. Nocon gets it away to Roll. The bad pass on the ground. Maguire tries to tow it through.
6 to go.
Lucky to get away with that one, Souths. It's Luke Scott who's come from the field for Souths. Played pretty well too off the bench. Now Rolfe dumped just inside brothers' half. And he felt the effects of it too. Adams has lost it. He had a look. He should have pulled that one in. He was wondering whereabouts he was going to run at them. So a couple of errors creeping in. Maybe the war of attrition taking its toll on their concentration now.
Yeah, Adams there just taking his eye off the ball, as we saw Robinson a little bit earlier. And Souths have got more injury problems with Shane Rolfe. He's in trouble.
Referee will call timeout while the trainer has a look at Rolfe. Stephen Wedge is on for Souths, number 17. Maguire for brothers with Macbeth. Go on the attack. Macbeth stepping off his left foot. Back into South's half. Douglas bursts a few more metres. Here they come. There were plenty of them to choose from. Jeff Scott's the one who got the ball. Collins. And he's got plenty of runners. They've set it up well in the forwards. It's Orchard with decoy runners taking the heat off him. Making good ground. 25 out now. This time it's Damon Keating, who played strongly last week against the Crushers. Last tackle, 20 out. Robinson shifts it left to Maguire. He floats a long one. It hasn't found anyone. Over the touchline. All the good work comes to nothing.
Well, they'd certainly created some opportunities out there. I don't think the long pass from Scott Maguire, irrespective of whether it had to have gone to hand, they had numbers there. They wanted to put it through the hands, not cut players out. Scott Maguire went for open spaces and found it.
Steve Mills to play it. Souths get that all-important possession back. Brothers leading 8-6. Now there's 13 minutes to go. Adams crashes ahead. Met knocked to ground quickly by Keating. No comment. Pass. Look forward. It was. Touch judge helping out the referee once more. It's a simple error, an unforced error.
And a vital one at this stage, where Souths wanting to work their way out of their own territory haven't been able to do so. Brothers will make them pay.
Robinson feeds for brothers.
Robinson puts it in out to Maguire. Looks on the outside to Essex. He's played most of the game out in the centres this afternoon. Maguire at dummy half. Hewinson, who's looked good every time he's handled. Ricky Hewinson bumps out of one, bumps out of another. Still struggling his way forward. Good run there from Ricky Hewinson.
David Mills almost might have copped a boot in the head.
This time good passing. This out to Scott. Good quick hands from brothers there as the defence came up quickly. The hands were moving just as quickly. This time Robinson to Maguire. Oh, another one.
Scott Maguire's furious with himself, but the touch judge is coming on as well.
Well, this will have to be a penalty, I'd say, to Brothers. And there's Scott Maguire, who's knocked it on, but he might be able to get away with this because could well be a penalty to the Brethren.
Could be the incident in which David Mills was having a bit of a scrap with one of the Brothers players. No, Leckie and Davis have been called out. Keith Leckie being spoken to. Michael Davis is the South's captain. That's what the touch judge has reported.
I was going to say just a caution, but no, it'll be a penalty. Right in front. Another chance for Scott Maguire. He's kicked 4 so far. This should be number 5.
Scott Maguire. They've all been very important. It's his boot, 4 from 4, that has his side in front. Oh, it's off the upright. And Peter Nokon has it for South. First miss for Maguire. His side still leading, 8-6. But that would have made them feel a little more comfortable.
A little bit of fire coming into the match too, as both sides realise the one that lifts now will win it.
And Mills plays it back. And Adams hits it up. And there is some tough contact, physical game this. Already South have made over 200 tackles. Brothers just about to crack the 200 and leading the way on those tackle counts for South's Mark Lane. He's made 30. Scott Barnes and Jason Adams as they attack up the right hand side, and away it comes to Benson. He looked inside, threw a dummy, went ahead a few more metres. South deep and stretched, ready to attack. They go ahead down the blind side though. A few more metres gained, the ball lost. Penalty against Brothers for never getting back the 10.
Had not recovered after that good break down the blind side. All came because I think it was Aaron Douglas who tried to come up at marker, was called offside and left the left-hand wing open.
Now Brothers leading by 2 points, right on their heels here as it goes to Barnes, only 5 metres out. Time to tackle for the Brethren. Nokon in front of the post, tried to go himself. Davis can go from dummy half. He has a go. He's close.
Short. Not close enough.
Now Minder out in the centre's calling for it. They have another go from dummy half. They're still short. That time it was Nokon again, I believe.
And the third one from dummy half.
Clumsy play the ball. Penalty goes to Brothers. Not played correctly is the call, and I think it was Peter Nokon in amongst all those heads.
Well, there were plenty of chances out wide. Short have a go once from dummy half, but 3 in and around the play the ball. Really, they got what they deserved, even though I think ultimately the ball got across the try line. Working it outside their own territory, or trying to do that. Ricky Hewinson up to play the ball. Oh, punishing defence.
Well, David, if that was played forward, which you're entitled to do, whether you've got a marker or not, if it was kicked forward and it's rebounded, it looked like it should be play on unless he handles in the ruck.
And the ruck is formed by the man marking and the man playing the ball, and it didn't appear to be that either.
So, I mean, very difficult for us to tell from a long way away, but looked as if it could have been a fair try.
Good kick this from Scott Maguire out of the dummy half position. Pins South inside their own 20.
Good work by Maguire. His boot has been a thorn in the side of the South side all day.
Huxtable jumped out of the road to make sure he didn't touch it and ensure his side gets loose head and feed.
3 seconds.
South to put it in through Nokon. Huxtable from the blind side.
6 minutes to go.
Steve Mills back on the field, gets the one hand free, looks for Cameron. Phil Cameron was the try scorer. He's lost it. Straight in the hands of Scott Maguire. Out to Shane Hempstead, decides not to try the touchline. Comes back inside, dances around, and eventually Reinhard Minder shuts him down. Rob Orchard does the right thing and goes forward. Brings it in under the sticks. Brothers with a chance now to put their only try on the board. Their points have come from 4 goals. That's Dean Rauchley, gets it within a couple of metres. Collins points left, points right, comes right to Robinson, out to Maguire, back on the inside to Essex. Essex tries to break a tackle, stands in it, knocked forward. Macbeth, I think it was.
Macbeth throws a short right at Nokon too.
Here it is again. Well, certainly knocked forward there by Macbeth, and Nokon over the top. He's a fiery customer. South with another chance.
David, 2 drop balls there, one by either side. I mean, it's a crucial time in the game. They've just got to make sure that ball control is secure.
Absolutely vital, and both sides now very, very tied. So the side who will retain possession has every chance of making breaks.
It's good work by Leckie to manage to stand up and get the pass away.
It's Benson. Now South.
10 short of halfway as Davis gets it out and they go up once more towards halfway. I think that's Leckie once more.
Yeah, he's played very well, Keith Leckie.
Oh, he throws a bit of a half-hearted punch. That's a dive by Rauchley.
It was only a half-hearted dive though, Warren.
But it's a silly piece of football by
He's
Leckie.
lost it.
And they have lost it, so it's Brothers' ball. Yes, it's play on. And that is not good football by the south side there. I mean, they're down by 2 points. They're in possession. They've eventually lost it, but before that you've got Leckie throwing half-hearted punches in possession.
Yeah, foolish play. He got away with that one, but then the one-handed ball-carrying action of Steve Mills, he didn't get away with that. He's lost that one. Play on!
Nokon shoots downfield. Referee has called it back.
Well, interesting one. He must have felt the tackle had been properly affected, and then the ball lost after that because Nokon appeared to be away. Let's have a look at it. The ball just comes loose. Peter Nokon snaps it up like a thief in the night, but he was caught by the policeman, Stuart Burnt.
Now David Mills for South. Clearly both teams are tired. There are mistakes creeping into the game. Brothers too might be looking into that low angle sun, could be causing a few problems. Here's Stephen Wedge for South. South's down by 2 points. 3.5 minutes to go by our clock. Up they go through Luke Scott.
And he's lost it, but this time it was punishing defence. Collins and Orchard involved, along with Bradkey. They flipped him over. He had to juggle initially, and then Luke Scott tipped into the turf. The ball comes loose.
Barry Collins waiting for the scrum with Dean Rauchley, but Peter Robinson's going to get treatment. Peter Robinson will leave the field. The penalties are 9-all. The scrums are 11-10 to South. They've all gone with the feed today. Not much in these stats so far. Neither in the error count. It's evened up. 33-31. Meters gained just favouring Brothers, even though possession has been evenly shared.
Tony Guilfoyle on now for Peter Robinson. Guilfoyle plays at Hewenson again. He's been very dangerous.
Been a fairly courageous effort by South, you know, David. They came into the game.
Oh, punch up. Well, Keith Leckie, you're going to go, I would think, yes, for 10 minutes, and that is just out-and-out foolish play there.
He's let his side down in the last couple of minutes after playing so strongly.
There it is. Benson was in the tackle, tried to do a Cumberland throw on him, and then, well, that's just crazy. That's just frustration.
That's either a brain explosion or no brain. Because, I mean, that's just... He's cruelled his own team there, Keith Leckie.
Oh, Orchard just manages to hang on to it.
I was about to say it's been a courageous effort by South, considering they came into the game without 3 of their regulars and then lost a couple during the game, but still, you've got to do it with what you've got on the field. Penalty against South now. Home crowd won't like this.
Another chance for Scott Maguire.
And they will take the shot for goal. Scott Maguire, 25 metres out, right in front. You could put your house on this. 4 from 5, he's kicked. And you've lost your house. You've lost your house.
Your house, Warren.
Can I come and
That's
stay at your
your
place? Can I come and play and stay at your place tonight?
Not if you punt like that, you can't.
So one more chance for South. They're down by 2 points, and the dropout from David Mills. South have got, it looks like, less than a minute to score. They've got to get the ball first of all.
Just as well you do the football on Saturdays in Sydney, Warren, and don't go to the races.
Here's Hewinson changing direction. Possession, the name of the game now. Brothers simply have to hold on for a set of 6. Knocked on a dummy half. Absolutely unbelievable football by
There's the
Aaron
hooter.
Douglas.
That's full time.
Well, he's lucky to get away with that one, Douglas. He hasn't given South one more shot at it. But let's not concentrate on the mistakes that marred the last 10 minutes. It was a great game of football for the first 70-odd. Finally, Brothers defeating South 8 points to 6. David, plenty of good players out there. Who's your man of the match?
Well, Warren, even though Scott Maguire kicked all 4 goals for those 8 points, I'm going for Ricky Hewinson. I thought he had a very good game. Hewinson broke the line a number of times, very solid in all departments. And Ricky Hewinson comes up with the BRL man of the match.
Are you happy with the white balance? Hey, Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
How you going?
Good, thanks.
Tough old game.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all right, it's not there. It's not there, both just hammering each other.
So it was battle of the forwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think all the top tacklers right now in the 30s and experience, which I did expect, but they're just hammering each other in the forwards.
Doing the backs,
Yeah. And, like there are only a few opportunities to score tries, and they weren't always taken by it, so really. Yeah. Nice to have a goal kick. Yeah. All right.
Ricky, it looked like a very tough game.
Certainly was. They're pretty hard up the forwards there. I copped a few from the forwards and made me feel it a bit.
Tries were hard to come by. Not every opportunity was taken.
A lot of opportunities we should have taken, but we never. But we hung in there like we should have.
Brothers are doing everything right, though. You're winning the games. You're out in front.
Yeah, we've got a hard run home, but that's the way I think I'd rather have it. 4 hard teams on the way home rather than easy ones.
And you'll be all slapping Scott Maguire on the back for putting those goals over today.
Certainly helps to have a good kicker on the side, I tell you.
All right, well played today.
Thanks very much.
Good on you.